I saw a post with Rick Ross and Big Meech. And I was kind of blown away when I seen the post with Rick Ross and Big Meech. Even though Rick Ross got this big song that's really an anthem for Big Meech. And I know he felt pretty much flattered when Ross made it because it's a banger. But who else put out a banger for Big Meech was also 50 looking out, telling, you know, Big Meech's story on TV. And 50 being who he is, had everybody in tune. For those that didn't know who Big Meech was. Now, pretty much people from Big Meech era know who Big Meech is. But don't forget, we got Gen Z and we got the millennials that may have heard of this man, but don't know him or didn't know how big of a person he was out here on the streets when he was out here getting his money. But 50 had BMF going off. Like, BMF was the talk. You know, BMF was the shit. And pretty much 50 felt like it was a slap in the face to see Big Meech in a picture with his rival. Now, y'all know 50 Cent is big on loyalty. A lot of people want to call 50 lame, childish, a hater. He want everybody to hate. And all these Ja Rule fans coming out the woolworks. Everybody that's Team Ja Rule that ain't have nothing to say because 50 been balling on their ass like consecutively. Now all of a sudden that he have a falling out or some differences with somebody that was a top dog on these streets and in most other states too. They want to come in and link with the ops. And I feel like that's flaw-like activity because if you wasn't saying nothing all the while this man putting out these movies back to back, and I'm telling you, 50 was going strong putting out TV series back to back, and they doing mad numbers. He had stars jumping. And all these niggas that, even though they was Team Ja Rule, they was on 50 Cent dick. Because there was no other place to be but on that man dick. Disrespectfully. I'm just being very disrespectful about it. And my thoughts on that was these dudes that's getting on the internet and trying to get in front of the camera and trying to slander 50 because he is strong on loyalty. Y'all already know when 50, he don't care what's your title, who you are, how you doing. He don't care what's your title, who you are, who you represent. If he feel like you betray him in any type of way, he gonna cut you off. He gonna cut you off and he ain't gonna think twice about it. He may speak his opinion on it if somebody asks about it and say, hey, what happened with you and this person? He may talk about it, but he just gonna cut you off. And that's how bosses move. When you making your own money and you have established being successful in the area that 50 has been successful in, he's not thinking twice on cutting people by the wayside that has wronged him. He is not thinking twice on getting rid of somebody that he feel like may jeopardize him as a person. If this man can cut his son off, come on now, let's talk. If this man can cut his firstborn off, if this man can cut his firstborn off with no problem, his seed, it ain't nothing for him to cut somebody off that has a big name, a big reputation on getting money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't know if they thought that if Big Meech be all right with Ross and Big Meech be all right with 50, they was going to be on mutual grounds. But if y'all really do y'all homework and look back, Rick Ross disrespected 50 first.
This morning I heard an interview that Rick Ross called in, had an interview, you know, but what was interesting is she asked him like where this shit came from or like what he said.
We got Rick Ross on the line. What's up, Ross?
What's
Shit came out of the clear blue sky to me. I didn't know what the fuck the nigga was talking about when I heard it. And then what he said was so whack that I didn't even know if the nigga was meant it or he was like, you know what I mean? Some sideways shit. So anyway, she asked him where it came from. And he said from the BET Awards. Now, I ain't never had a conversation with these niggas. I don't know these niggas. I know your name. I seen your video. Other than that, we ain't got no business together. We ain't got no reason to even be talking to each other, right? So niggas think that it's an opportunity to create energy or like a excitement for the actual release of their record. And I understand that it may be more attention than you usually get, but it'll be the kind of attention that when it goes away, you go away completely. Like there's nothing else left for your ass. You completed. Done. I already see from here, from where I'm at, that this nigga's a total fraud. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even no issue. You see me at the BET Awards. You see me by myself. Everybody at the BET Awards saw me. I don't even remember seeing this nigga. This the illest shit is, I don't even remember, like, in passing. Like, you so unimportant that I don't even remember walking past the nigga or anything.
And Ross's home team. And I fuss with Ross because I've seen Ross give back to inspiring artists that want to be big. I've seen him interact with other people on such a grounded level. But when he came for 50, that was to get everybody off of the conversation talking about he was a correction officer. I remember it like it was yesterday. 2008, 2009. Everything was hitting the fan. But when somebody uploaded Ross W-2 forms as a correctional officer on the internet, and everybody was like joning and laughing and roasting and ranking Ross for being a correction officer, Ross took another route and targeted 50 to get another topic, you know, jumping on the internet. And that was him coming for 50. He made up this story somehow about him being backstage and Curtis act like he didn't know who he was, and this is how the beef started. He said Curtis was ignoring him and acting like he didn't know who he was, and Ross started talking cocky, and then he put out a diss song. And I remember on This Is 50, his team, 50 Cent team, came in with the song and said, "You want to hear this?" And 50 say, "Run it." And that's when 50 respond to Ross. And this is what 50 felt like. 50 felt like, I don't even know this dude, and this dude is disrespecting me. I don't even know Buddy, and he's straight disrespecting me. So I'm finna troll him. And 50 Cent became a troll, trolling Ross. And they never seemed to get it back right after that. Because once you cross the line of disrespect, any grown man ain't finna hang around another grown man that he feel like he can't trust. And if you start hanging around a man that a real man can't trust, then he got to cut you off too. He got to eliminate you because now he feel like you playing both sides. And do you blame 50 though? Like 50 ain't no average dude that got a little bit of money. We talking about somebody that got money, a career, he got everything to lose. He can't take a gamble on being around somebody that's trying to play both sides with somebody. He's just not going to do that. That's just like when his son took that picture with the son of the dude that allegedly hit him up like 9 times. I can't even mess with my son because I don't know what my son on. I don't know if he made a deal with the devil and trying to set me up, because everybody know, anybody that's getting money, they know in order to take somebody out or do damage, they normally use the closest person to you. And 50 is from the streets. Big Meech is from the streets. Ross hung around the streets, but Ross was not really in the streets. He was cool with street niggas. And we just got to keep it real. Because he was a 9 to 5, or he worked a 9 to 5, and I'm not saying Ross a bad nigga. He's a good nigga. It's just that when everything hit the fan of them exposing that he was a correction officer, Ross chose to play chess instead of checkers, and he called the biggest name that was floating out there in the streets at the time, and 50 was one of them big names. And he probably said, in order to get these people off my back, I gotta start up some controversy. Now, was it a real beef with Ross and 50? No, it wasn't a real beef when Ross initiated it, but it became a real beef once it was initiated. Once it was initiated, it became a real thing. But when it started, it was a fake thing. It was a fake fucking beef. And we just gotta keep it real. And 50 did a lot of humiliating Ross. Is it shade? Did something transpire between 50 and some money with Big Meech? Maybe Big Meech was saying, I'm being mutual. This nigga got a theme song. I'm going to connect with him. But when people is beefing hard, people don't really like somebody that they invest in their time to make you be great when you come home, to feel like you not showing love or respect for the energy that they put into making your legacy look great, being televised. Because everybody was saying, oh, Big Meech could have came home and did it himself. Big Meech could have came home and did his own show because he got a legacy. That might be true. But everybody know that 50 Cent, everything that he touched turns to gold. When it comes to television and putting movies out, after Power, everything is doing numbers. And we just got to keep it real. So, with that being said, don't make it seem like if Big Meech would have put his movie out there, it would have did the numbers that it's doing, because that's not true. 50 already had a remedy. He already had the recipe. And when you connect with somebody that has a recipe to make things happen, that's what made you make that boss move, to connect with him, because the recipe was real. You know what I'm saying? 50 had the recipe. BMF is BMF because Meech told his story. But the recipe to make BMF buzz in this era, in the Gen Z, in the millennial era, is because 50, even though he's an older man, he is still relevant today. 50 is still relevant today. He's still relevant today. So that's what makes BMF, like, after Power, just imagine. Do you know how well Power did? So after Power, anything that 50 makes, people want to be in tuned in, because they want to know, is it going to get better? Because everything this man touched has been excellent. Excellent. 50 might feel like it's a spit in the face. Like, you uploading pictures with a dude that I think is a peon. And vice versa. Ross feel a certain way about him now. But Ross, initially, when he first started the beef, he didn't feel that way about 50. He was just trying to be strategic. And it pretty much remained, the beef remained a everlasting beef. Maybe you thought it was going to be momentarily when you did it, Ross, but it became a permanent stain in your favorite outfit.